I don't really see it as a much difference. Of course, we had an older team then, so that might be one of the biggest differences. But now it's since we have a younger team now, it's up to the older guys, like I said before, to express the importance of this game and express the importance of the rest of the season to these younger guys, and just go from there.
I think you were asking about being underdogs. You guys haven't technically been underdogs, betting underdogs much, but in games that are expected to be closer, and when you're underdogs, you guys have played well. Is there something about that? Is there something about like getting some chippiness when?
I feel like that might have something to do with it. It kind of puts a chip on your shoulder a little bit, just to know that you're predicted to lose. Like that kind of just puts you.
Do you guys seek out or find like people that have picked against you?
No, not really. Nah.
Really?
Yeah. No, not really.
Where does that come from then?
All the motivation comes from within the team. Like I said, we don't really look at the outside factors. We're all about focusing on us and making ourselves better, and we kind of put the chip on our shoulder ourselves, not really with the outside factors.
After Saturday's game, some Georgia Tech defensive players said they were surprised that you guys tried to throw over them. As opposed to, maybe in front of them.
Yes, sir.
Do you sense that on the field? Do you sense that that's maybe something that's not expected
from other defenses? Well, yeah, they expect us to run the ball. A lot of people look at our passing game as our deficiency. So, of course, teams are going to be a little surprised when we throw the ball or when we go deep. But I feel like for us to be a complete team, that is something we need to continue to work on and continue to do.
You mentioned staying longer with Jake after practice this week. What's that look like? How much longer are you guys staying? Is it just as simple as running a few rounds? Do you have a guy covering you?
Well, it'll all be like just getting timing down as far as throwing some routes. It'll probably all be on air, but just so he knows where we'll be when we run these routes. And that's just to start it off. Like, that's all the beginning.
Is that going to be all of you guys or just you and Jake?
Well, no, it'll be me and a couple other receivers. Whoever wants to stay and get better. If you don't, I'm not going to force you not to get better. So me and a couple of receivers already dedicated our afternoons after practice to this.
Tyler, have you seen enough of LSU to that defense? What are they doing so well right now? Because they've had some ups and downs all year as far as giving up points and yards, but they're obviously playing their best at the right time.
Yeah, the biggest thing is they're just havoc. That's one of the things our defense preaches. They're just wreaking havoc, negative plays, making turnovers, and that kind of just gives your defense confidence going into every game.
And then you guys are not underdogs very much.
Yes,
I mean, I guess we're 13 games into the season and you're an underdog for the first time. There's still so much at stake with this game, but can good old-fashioned motivation work this week too with you guys being in the underdog? Are y'all going to use that at all?
Well, I feel like we definitely will. Coach Smart will express. I'm sure he'll express it to us a little bit and kind of get guys going. But the biggest thing is doing it for your brothers, not doing it because you're underdogs. It's doing it for the guys next to you. So,
Tyler, this is your third SEC championship game. Same with Barnett over there. I mean, does that help you guys at all? Does that matter that you guys have been on this stage and played in these big games before?
Well, definitely, it gives us a sense of knowing you have a little bit of experience in that area. Knowing you've been here before. You don't get the same amount of chills. You kind of you're more relaxed. You're more trusting on your training and depending on your training in the game, and you're just more calm and collected.
Kirby was saying one of the benefits too is you guys know the benefit or what the routine is for an SEC championship game. Kind of what goes into an SEC championship routine maybe later this week that's different from what a regular game would be.
For one, this is the same time around finals, so a lot of guys it's a lot of focus that's going into class and a lot of focus that's going on the field right now. So just with the older guys knowing how to balance it can give us an advantage in this game.
Tyler, what's the feeling like in the wide receiver room knowing that you'll be without Cager and without Pickens for the first half?
Well, it brings some excitement to the younger guys, to some of the guys that haven't made as many plays right now. Like I said before, it leaves the door open for a lot of plays to be made in the passing game and just a lot of opportunities.
When you talk about the passing game and kind of throwing over the top of defense, I know you guys aren't holding things back earlier this year, but are you guys excited at the prospect of now this is the game that means everything? You can kind of, empty the playbook, so to speak, and throw everything out there?
Yeah, definitely. I know we have a lot of plays, we have yet to run, but it's time now to put them on the field and show what we've been putting on the practice field all year.
Tyler, I know you guys are going to try to do your part to be as efficient as you can, but knowing that you have a defense that's pretty much answered the call every game this year, or most games, how good do you feel about your chances with this defense against that offense?
Well, I mean, I'm going to take us over anybody at the end of the day. I feel like our coaches are going to do a great job this week at scheming and planning and implementing plays that work very well against the defense. So I have a lot of confidence in our coaches and our players this week and just getting the job done.
What do you remember about that LSU game from last year? Does that sort of have to carry over into the game this weekend?
Well, it left a real sour taste in our mouth just going out there to LSU and losing like that. That's the last thing that we were expecting. So just going into this game with a chip on our shoulder, just knowing what happened last year. So.
And then have you said anything to George after what happened on Saturday and speaking with him at all?
Yeah, I've talked to him a little bit, and I know he took the time yesterday to apologize to the offense, and we just let him know like you gotta learn how to control your actions. Now, putting that on film, a lot of people may feel like they can provoke you. That's the last thing you want. So. You just got to watch what you put on film.
And then Dominic Blaylock's had some big moments in big games this year. What sort of allowed him to sort of do that and play like that?
Well, he's always calm and collective. He's pretty confident. He knows the playbook, so it gives you a certain level of confidence going out there on the field. And it lets you play calm and slow the game down a little bit. So, I mean, he's done a great job at catching the ball, a great job at receiver and punt return for us this year. So,
what has been